Hey everyone, GuardianE here with another live reaction and first impression video in Fire Emblem Heroes. Tonight we should be getting the trailer for the next set of special heroes that will be introduced into the game in just a few short days. Now, thematically, in the past, we've gotten a dancer-centric seasonal banner. Around this time last year was the Hoshiden Festival, featuring a whole host of dancers, so I think thematically a lot of people are expecting this one to be very similar, very dancer-centric. As you can see, the silhouette is right here that they posted earlier today, or late last night, I guess, and the silhouettes very, very clearly look like Berkut and Rinea from Shadows of Valentia, doing a ballroom dance as they are oft to do, as we've all seen that cutscene, of course. So a lot of people are naturally suspecting that it's going to be a new version of Berkut and a new version of Rinea, which is kind of a surprise. I wasn't expecting us to get a new version of Berkut so soon. Rinea has been a popular choice that hasn't been in the game yet, so I would have kind of figured that we would have gotten her. But yeah, and no surprise, Berkut and Rinea are the front runners as far as guesses are concerned. And to be completely honest, if this is not Berkut and Rinea, then I will consider this to be an absolutely huge troll. Like, clearly they are trying to disappoint all of the Berkut and Rinea fans out there if they show this silhouette and they are not Berkut and Rinea. But we'll see. I mean, I have seen a couple of guesses that maybe it's Alphonse and Sharena, but honestly, who are we kidding? It's going to be Berkut and Rinea. If it's not Berkut and Rinea, that's just a giant troll. But as far as the other characters that are going to be on the banner, we of course don't know. So let's go ahead and watch the trailer for the first time together. Alright, well here we are. A Splendid Soiree. Looks like that is going to be the title of the next banner. I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm actually going to close my eyes and not look until the individual units are revealed. I'm going to try to avoid that big splash they do at the beginning, revealing all of the characters at once, just so I can appreciate, because each of the characters coming up one at a time. So let's go ahead and play and watch it together for the first time. Alright. Should be saying like special heroes or here or something like that. Okay. Alright, first up, Thunder's Waltz. Who is... Wait, is that... Wow, Ishtar, really? A Flying Red Tome user. Flying Red Tome dancer. Really? Okay. Alright. She looks pretty good. I don't know if I like it more or less than her original art. Okay, here's Berkut. Debonair Noble. Looking very fancy. I like his coat. Looks very warm. Alright, so he's going to be another infantry user. Nah, it makes sense. So infantry lance user. Or he's going to be another lance user, not infantry. Did I say infantry user? So he's a dancer as well, of course. Are you serious? Sincere Dancer Nephenee. Wow. What? Oh man, Hachan is doing the art. Okay, Infantry Archer. I love that she still has her helmet on. That is so amazing. That's so cool. I love that. And, oh my god, okay. Lightning's Rondo. What a fancy man. We've got Reinhardt here. Flying Green Mage user. I wonder if he's going to have... yeah, he is going to have a Brave effect on his tome. Go figure. Okay. Alright, so... A bunch of surprises here. I like the selection. That's pretty cool. Actually, I just realized that Rinea isn't in this banner. I just realized... Oh, no, there she is. I'm sorry. Whew, okay, alright, dodged a bullet there. Yeah, so Rinea is there. You can see her. She is a blue tome user right there in the corner, so we are getting her. And it looks like we're going to be getting Rinea for free, which is awesome. Berkut is a blue lance user. Nephenee is an infantry archer. Oh my goodness. And then we've got the pair of Ishtar and Reinhardt flying together, tome users. Yeah, okay, that is very interesting. Alright, so let's go ahead and pause here. Starting on the 6th of September until the 7th of October, so we do have pretty much a full month to summon these units. There is one of each color, which means that there is approximately an equal chance of getting any one of these units in any given stone before you enter the circle. I'm going to be completely honest with you, I didn't recognize Ishtar. I thought it could be Tail to you, and I just wasn't sure. Just based on the art style, it wasn't like 100% clear to me, but Ishtar, she looks great. She looks awesome. Reinhardt looks very dapper as well. Berkut, his art looked a little stilted. I mean, obviously he's doing the ballroom dance pose, so it's not, it's kind of set, I guess, as it is. But he looks good too. Nephenee looks adorable. I love the fact that she has her helmet on in her ballroom gown. I think that's a really nice touch. And obviously we don't have the art for Rinea here in the trailer, but it looks like we are going to be able to get her for free, which is fantastic. That's awesome. All right, so let's rewind, watch the whole thing in its entirety, take a look at the individual skills for each of these characters. I'm actually pretty excited to take another deep dive into what they all have to offer us. I don't know how I like closing my eyes for the splash or not. I kind of screwed it up because I opened my eyes while Ishtar was like on screen, so I don't know if I really did that right. But okay, and I love like the musical notes too that kind of is part of the art. I like how she's smiling too. All right, so let's pause here. Oh my God, how do you pronounce that? I'm gonna take a stab at this. Mugbrasier, maybe. 8 might weapon inflicts speed -2 if unit initiates combat. Okay, it's a brave weapon. Okay, so it is going to be a brave weapon with only -2 speed, which means that, you know, depending on her stat line, she could be a quadder. I already see that Swift Sparrow 3 is her A slot, so presumably she's going to have some pretty respectable speed and attack, which will let her quad potentially, but we'll have to see. She has Dance for her assist naturally. Desperation for the B slot does work in tandem with the notion that she would be a quadder, basically that she would, you know, attack 4 times, and that's the goal that you would have with Ishtar. Air orders for the C slot. We've seen air orders before. At the start of turn, grants the following status: 2 adjacent flying allies. Unit can move to a space adjacent to any ally. So it basically grants the status effective flyer formation, which is amazing. So this is actually a very, very powerful kit. So a very complete kit, a very synergistic kit. It all works together with the intent of her basically doubling or quadding an enemy, potentially doing good damage, but also playing the support role of a dancer, having air orders on a flyer team, giving all of her allies flyer formation. Since flyer formation is also a seal, you can put flyer formation on her as a seal so that she has flyer formation as well, and she's also granting it to the rest of her team. So this is a very, very solid kit. It's nothing that we haven't seen before necessarily, and a lot of the judgment of this kit is going to be based upon really what her attack and speed stat lines are. But I could definitely see her being a very powerful asset on a flyer team. So let's keep going. The art is nice. It is nice, and I like that the whole musical note effect of her of that like beam. All right, so Debonair Noble. Here's Berkut. Ian Sinclair. He always does an awesome job. All right, so he is an infantry lance user. He has. All right, so he has. I believe that's Verthandi would be how it is. It's a 16 might lance. If Singer Dance is used, grants attack, speed, defense, res +4 to target. Okay, all right, that kind of crystallizes his role as a support dancer. He has Dance as his assist. B Dual Infantry 3 for the A slot. We've seen the dual skills. We know what they're all about. This is specifically for blue infantry units, but it'll grant HP +5 and also boost the BST of the unit to 170 for scoring purposes in arena and allegiance battles. Also comes with Distant Guard 3. Allies within 2 spaces gain if foe uses a bow, dagger, magic, or staff. Grants defense plus res +4 during combat. So an in-combat buff to any units. It's an in-combat drive buff, essentially, to all allies that are going to be facing off against ranged opponents. They'll get a nice little hefty +4 defensive boost to both of their defensive stats. Pretty simple kit, obviously very tuned to the support role. Verthandi, it's interesting because it basically is Performing Arts Azura's axe, more or less, except an additional +1 to all of the stats. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the distinction. So, because I think that Performing Arts Azura gave +3 to all stats. Looks like Berkut is going to be giving +4 to all stats. I don't know how I feel about that. That it seems kind of uninspired. I feel like they could have done something a little bit different to separate them and make Berkut a little bit more interesting. Now, he is an infantry lance dancer, which means he has access to all of those infantry toys with respect to cooldown skills, smoke cooldown skills, pulse skills, all that good stuff. So he could potentially run infantry pulse pretty reliably, depending on what his HP stat is. Obviously, B Dual Infantry 3 gives him HP +5. So if he really is cemented in that support role, I could see him working on an infantry-based team for shorter cooldowns on all of his allies. But otherwise, there's not really a ton that's remarkable about this kit. Verthandi it can't be inherited. So he has that tied to him. He has dance, he has an infantry skill, and he has Distant Guard 3, which is a pretty good skill, but it's a skill that we've seen before. So nothing like terribly remarkable here, but he is going to be a very good support infantry dancer. So it's a little bit of a measured approach. I mean, Performing Arts Azura is still good today. I mean, I still use her, so she still fulfills that support role well, and I'm Berkut will do the same. I mean, he'll still do he'll play that support role extremely well for when you need it. So, and I think he'll probably excel on an infantry-based team. So yeah, he has enough going for him. Nothing stellar, but solid all around. Let's keep going. There's his dance. I like that pose. That's cool. All right, so here's Nephenee, sincere dancer. She looks so happy. I like how she's smiling. Okay. All right, so let's pause here. Fiddlestick Bow Plus. All right, so I guess first thing to note, it's inheritable. So it's a 12 might weapon, naturally effective against flying foes, as all bows are. Grants defense res +4 to allies within 2 spaces during combat against sword, lance, axe, dragonstone, or beast foes. Interesting. Okay, so it's got the close guard drive effect tied to it. So again, it plays into the notion of dancers playing support, right, on a team. So it'll grant a defensive boost to all allies within 2 spaces against melee units. So, I mean, it's okay. It's all right. It doesn't really bring a ton to the table, and I honestly don't know how often you're going to be inheriting this onto your archers. In most cases, your archers are either going to be, all-out player phase nukers, or they're going to be, high-res defensive tankers. I feel like you don't see a whole lot of bow supports, but this is obviously leading or lending itself to an archer support role, which Nephenee apparently is going to be doing. Let's take a look. So she's got Dance for her assist naturally. So her B slot now is Caldera Dance 2. If Singer Dance is used, grants attack +3 and defense +4 to target. Huh. Okay. I mean, that's kind of an extension of the other dance B-slot skills that we've seen in the past. I'm personally not convinced that this is a strong enough B-slot skill for somebody to swap that in on their dancers for the most part. Just because dancers really thrive on having something like Wings of Mercy at their disposal. Even if they're a flyer, something like Flyer Formation. There's a lot of different skills that they could use on the B-slot to better enhance their support role. I don't know if Caldera Dance is really going to cut it, and, it's a new skill. They're introducing new dancer skills, apparently, and I'm glad that they're taking a measured approach to it, because I don't think dancers need any buffs at this point, but all the same, this one's not going to be making any waves. I don't think you're really going to be seeing a whole lot of use for this skill. Speed Tactic 3. Okay, so we are finally seeing Speed Tactic on a unit that's not Legendary Lyn. I believe Legendary Lyn is the only other unit that has Speed Tactic 3. So it is going to be available now on a seasonal unit, Nephenee. At the start of turn, grants speed +6 to allies within 2 spaces for 1 turn. Granted only if number of that ally's movement type on the current team is equal than or less than 2. Nephenee's kit is honestly kind of confusing. I don't know how I feel about it, to be completely honest. It feels a little all over the place, a little sporadic. It provides a variety of different boosts, and the different, like her bow, her B-slot, and tactics, they all provide different buffs to different things for different purposes. So the only real consistency, I guess, is defense a little bit. But the Fiddlestick Bow provides an enemy phase boost. Caldera Dance will provide, presumably, I guess, a defensive, a mixed phase boost. And then Speed Tactic 3 is, I guess, mixed phase as well. But I don't know. I don't know how well realized this kit is. And honestly, I don't know how valuable people are going to be wanting her for any of her skills for actual inheritance purposes, because I could be completely missing something here, but for me personally, Fiddlestick Bow Plus and Caldera Dance really aren't doing any favors for Nephenee, I feel. Having a dancing archer is not something that we've had in the game before, so if you want a unit on your team that has the capabilities of having flyer effectiveness, or flyer effective damage, I should say, because that's a threat that you face, and you face flyer balls and things like that, then I can understand having a dancer archer support unit on your team. I do feel like that's a role you don't see all that often, and I think for good reason, but they could be adding additional skills to sort of help bolster that bolster that role, because she could be, an excellent support unit or an excellent support dancer, and then still have that edge against flyers, and maybe that's all your team really needs. Anyway, let's keep going. Take a look at Nephenee's attacking art.
Is this right?
That's so good. I love it. I really do. Okay, so here's Lightning's Rondo. He kind of has like a Sith Lord look to him. All right, we're going to pause here, take a look. So, all right, so Vofbruthnir, maybe? 9 might weapon, inflicts speed -5. If unit initiates combat, unit attacks twice. So it's interesting that he still has the -5 speed, which of course leads me to believe that his speed is going to be terrible. Whereas Ishtar, again, is probably going to have some pretty decent speed in order to quad. Reinhardt is going to be solely, just as he kind of has been in all of his incarnations, devoted to the notion of hitting hard, hitting twice, and killing anything he touches. He's going to have Dance for his assist, Death Blow 3 for the A slot. That's kind of unusual. I would have expected them to put Death Blow 4 on him. I guess they didn't want to give him 2 premium skills, and that's why, but that's sort of odd. It's sort of odd to see a new unit introduced this late in the game to not have a tier 4 skill when one already exists, but regardless, he's got Death Blow 3, which is still fine. It's still very good. For his B slot, he has Chill Res 3, which is a natural choice. And they basically kitted him with what you would put on regular Reinhardt. So Chill Res 3 for the B slot, map-wide debuff, which will inflict -7 res on any foe, or the foe, I should say, with the highest res on the enemy team, which means, of course, that will boost his damage pretty significantly against that unit. More specifically, 14 damage if he initiates against that unit and its neutral color advantage. So Joint Hone Attack for the C slot. At start of turn, if unit is adjacent to an ally, grants attack +5 to unit and adjacent allies for 1 turn. Alright, so a self-activated attack buff, as long as, and the condition being that he has to be adjacent to an ally, but he gets attack +5, which is pretty great. Yeah, that's honestly pretty great for his kit. Yeah, I mean, just like Ishtar, I think that Reinhardt has one of the more focused kits in this banner. I think both of them are kitted to do exactly what you would think of them to do, and they'll probably excel at that depending on what their stat line is. It is a little curious, again, that Reinhardt does not have Death Blow 4, but I'm guessing that's just because they didn't want to give him 2 tier 4 skills. So let's keep going. Take a look at Reinhardt in action, see his attack animation, because I missed it the first time around. Okay, it's very similar to Ishtar's, naturally. Okay, pretty cool, and he's riding a Wyvern. Alright, so A Splendid Soiree. Very exciting, new paralog story, and we will get, presumably, that Rinea for free. So, alright, so in terms of overall strength on the banner, I think that Ishtar kind of takes the cake here. A lot of this is going to depend on what the ultimate stat lines are. We don't know what those are, so the actual conclusions drawn could vary wildly based upon what their stat lines actually are, but by all accounts, it looks like Ishtar is going to be kitted for high attack, high speed. She's going to have that automatic double. She's going to be set up for quadding. She only has -2 speed on her native legendary or preferred weapon. She comes with air orders, which is a very premium skill. She has the ability to dance, and she is a red mage flyer, which I think is probably the least represented mage flyer color in the game, if I'm not mistaken. Relatively on the rarer side, I guess. And again, fulfills a great support role and looks like she may be, a very, very powerful offensive unit, player phase unit as well. Reinhardt, I think he's right behind, and I think he's going to be deadly as well. Depending on the stat line, I could see either Ishtar or Reinhardt kind of being the prize on this banner. Now, it is interesting to note that for those of you who are striving for Reinhardt emblem, this third Reinhardt does have a different color from the other 2 Reinhardts, which means that Reinhardt emblem now has 3 of the 4 colors. So if we do get a 4th Reinhardt down the line, chances are it could potentially be a colorless Reinhardt, and you'd have every single color represented. And then behind them, I would say Berkut and Nephenee. Honestly, I'm a little confused. I don't know exactly where to place them. Berkut, I feel like he at least has a more focused kit in what he does as the support role. Nephenee feels a little bit all over the place, but, all the same, I mean, they're all dancers, and in their own right, they're all going to be useful. So if you are a fan of any of these characters and you don't have, a dancer of that specific movement type / color / weapon type, you may want to go in, see if you can get one of them, or see if you can get, your target. Them being dancers means they'll definitely still be useful no matter what, and it does look like, at least at first glance, that their kits are geared towards them being units that can do things in addition to dance, especially Ishtar and Reinhardt. So for me personally, I actually really want Nephenee because it's Hachan's art, it's Nephenee. I love the fact that she has the helmet on. I love the art, so I really do want Nephenee, and I wouldn't mind getting Ishtar. Ishtar looks like she's going to be a demon on the battlefield as well, so again, I don't want to go in super hard on this banner. I might jump in a little bit. I'm still hurting, obviously, from the Brave Echoes banner, so I'm not really committed to going in. But we have all month for this banner, so bear that in mind. You can definitely bide your time, wait things out, wait to see what else is available during the month of September before you decide to spend your orbs on this banner. So let me know in the comments below if you're excited for this banner, if you're excited for these units, and if you are going to be summoning, which target you're going to be going for. Hopefully you enjoyed watching the video. If you did, please feel free to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. We thank you all so much for watching and taking some time out of your day to spend with us. We really do appreciate it. And until next time, let's protect those skies.